You know, you just feel burnt out sometimes. The good thing about being here in the Philippines is that you're literally a 1 hour, 1.5 hour flight away from some of the most beautiful beaches in the country. Gotta get the business class so you can just, you know, still want to wait. I just fucking hate waiting in line. What's up, guys? So just got up a few hours ago, got some work done. You know, you just feel burnt out sometimes. The good thing about being here in the Philippines is that you're literally a 1 hour, 1.5 hour flight away from some of the most beautiful beaches in the country. So you can actually work from there. You can work from the beach, work from one of the cafes. So decided that I am gonna fly out for a few days, heading to a place called Boracay, which is a pretty beautiful beach, one of the most beautiful sunsets. I'm gonna go there, get some work done, relax, and just decompress, because you know I've been putting my body through a lot of stress. So yeah, heading to the airport now. I'm gonna go a little early so I can work in the lounge, get some stuff done before I head out to my flight, and I will see you guys once I check in. Alright, bye-bye. Alright, take care. Hold up, don't go yet. Come with me to the business class lounge and let's talk about some tips on why this video is so important. What's up, guys? So we're here in the domestic lounge of the Mabuhay lounge. It's not as nice as international, of course. I was just there. You guys saw my other vlog. I was flying to Dubai. But again, this is just a quick trip. I decided to book this literally 2 hours ago. Got my ticket, having everything taken care of, and in a few hours I will be in Boracay. But let's go see what they have to eat and drink, because they always have some cool stuff here. Yo, what's up, guys? Alright, so this is like the smallest plane that I've ever been on my way to Boracay. It's tiny. Like, you look down, this is like first class, extra legroom. It's all good. Main thing, we get there safe. See y'all in Boracay. Okay, now I'm gonna reveal some things I did in the past, but first, shisha. Yo, what's up, guys? Alright, so of course, I'm gonna find the shisha place in Boracay. I'm at this place called Om, and it's the only place, at least right now, like during the day, that you can have shisha. There's a few other places that I found, but there's a spot right here. What's cool about Boracay is that most of these places have Wi-Fi, you know, so as I'm looking out to the beach, I'm reminded of a story that I want to share with you. Something I feel is very, very important. It's a concept to understand. Before I finish my story about the beach and business, I'm gonna have some coffee and shisha. We found this really amazing cafe called Cafe Maruja, and it's by far the best shisha in Boracay. So before I finish my story, or before I start my story about the beach and how building sandcastles on the beach can change your life. If you already think this video is valuable, you haven't even seen the half of it yet. I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest realizations lately and why I'm so passionate about these two things. The view is really perfect here. That's why I remembered the few life-changing lessons I had way back. I'll share them in a few moments, because if you're like me and you want to get out of the grind, I'm pretty sure that you can use them too. Thank you. So definitely best shisha in Boracay. Put in a little shisha condom. What does a beach, building sandcastles, and business have to do with anything, right? Like how do they all come together? So if you don't know already, you know, I've always been an advocate for entrepreneurship, you know, doing your own thing, being your own business owner. On top of that, I'm also a huge advocate for marketing yourself, branding yourself, because at the end of the day, a lot of people spend their lives attaching themselves to companies that aren't theirs. And then what happens is maybe sometimes, unfortunately, unfortunately the company goes under, you know, out of business, or the company, they get greedy and they terminate the employee or the independent contractor, then now you're kind of back to square one, and you've built your life building this brand for somebody else. Right? It reminds me of building sandcastles, right? So let's say you know, you go to the beach. When we were kids, go to the beach, you would have to kind of get close to the water to build your sandcastle, because obviously that's where the kind of the wet cement style sand is, right? So you build your sandcastle, and sometimes you spend all day, right? Then you leave. Your parents are like, okay, Jason, it's time to leave, right? So I built my sandcastle, and then just so happened, growing up, I actually lived close to the beach. I would come back the next day or a few days later, and my sandcastle would be completely gone, right? The water comes up, washes away the sandcastle. That's just like your job, okay? Every day you go to work, you do the same thing, or maybe you do different things over and over again, and you build your sandcastle at your business. And then at the end of the day, you go home, right? And the water comes up and it just washes away your sandcastle. The next day you wake up, you go back to work, and then you do it again. Build your sandcastle, right? You build it, and then once again the water comes and washes away your sandcastle. And you do this every day, and then at the end of 2 weeks, after you build your sandcastle, you go to your boss and you're like, you get your paycheck, right? And usually this paycheck is already accounted for, right? Your bills and everything, because sometimes we have, you know, too much month at the end of the money, if that makes sense. I want you to think about that. Too much month at the end of the money. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. It's okay. So why is branding and building yourself important, and how does it correlate to building your sandcastle? You want to always be building 2 sandcastles. Now if you have the luxury to just be able to build one sandcastle the right way, then that's great, right? But most people don't have the option of building their own sandcastle the right way. What is the right way? You build that sandcastle with bricks. Well, then that doesn't make it a sandcastle. That's fine. We'll just call it a brick sandcastle. All right. Anyways, here's how it works. Okay. You have to have a job to take care of yourself. If you don't start a business, if you don't have money, if you don't have investors, you know, you have to make a living, which is important. And I have nothing against jobs. Jobs are a good place to start. It's just not a great place to end, if that makes sense, right? So you go to your work, right? And you build your sandcastle. And then after work, when you go home, you spend a couple more hours and you start working on yourself, branding yourself, figuring out what it is you truly love to do, right? And then you start building your castle, and you put a brick there. So then when the water comes up and it washes away your sandcastle, guess what? It doesn't wash away the brick. The next day, you go to work, you build your sandcastle, and then you leave, start doing research on some ideas of how you're gonna market your business, and you put another brick. Every single day, you're adding a brick, right? A strong foundation. Doesn't happen overnight, but even though your sandcastle is being washed away every day, the castle that you're building, your own castle, is being built brick by brick by brick. Now, here's what's also gonna happen. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, they're gonna knock on you. You know, they're gonna say what you're doing is stupid. If you've ever read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the reason people fail the most is because they listen to their friends, their family, and their neighbors, okay? So what happens is sometimes we build our own castle out of bricks, right? We build it 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks. Even though the water doesn't come and wash it away, somebody might come by and kick down your castle. Don't worry about it. Keep building. Because eventually you do this consistently, right? When I talk about this, right? I talked about this in the 90-day run, right? The slight edge effect, where you do simple disciplines, which is a brick a day, right? Simple disciplines over a long period of time that leads to success, right? You're building your castle over and over and over. Before you know it, you have this castle of bricks. And even though the water comes, you can still do this part-time, right? Even though the water comes and washes away your sandcastle, it can't wash away the castle that you built of bricks. Why? Because it's your own. Eventually, you no longer have to build that sandcastle anymore. You no longer have to continue going to the beach every single day. Sometimes, once your castle is built, it's there. And this is what we call building residual income, or building yourself a business that works without you, right? Robert Kiyosaki says you want to build a business that gives you money whether you work or not, and the key word is not. Warren Buffett says if you trade time for money, you're gonna always be working until you die. So my point is, again, sitting here on this beautiful beach in Boracay, smoking some shisha, wonderful coffee. Why? It's because I was you. When I first got started, I was building my sandcastle for somebody else, and I was grateful for it. It's fine. But at the same time, even though it was hard, even though it was tough, I was building my castle of bricks. Now, I've actually built my castle so big one time of bricks to a multi-million-dollar company, and it got knocked down due to things out of my control. And I've built my company back up again to another multi-million-dollar company, and it got knocked down. I remember a few months back, or a few months, maybe a year back, whatever it was. I remember looking at my account. I think it was like November, December, whatever. My income for that month was $15. I want to be able to show my, I don't know if I can do this. I should show my bank account or show my monthly deposit of how much money came into my business account. $15. And the next month it was $54. But then the next month it grew 300, then 4,000, then 15,000. Now it's a year later and we're back to having our $1 million company, right? We have Mint Media, we have Mint Solutions, we have Mint Collective that we're launching or may have already launched depending on when you're watching this video. And this is all because of this concept of, you know, doing, see, because during that time when I had $15, $54, right, like I still had to do other things. So I was building multiple sandcastles wherever I could while I was building my own, and I was hustling. And it takes a lot of hustle, it takes a lot of stubbornness, you know, again, with these fundamental principles. These are fundamental principles. If you remember this story, you're gonna be able to take care of yourself and build yourself a legacy. Now here's what's even next level, right? Once you build your castle of bricks, you can start pouring cement on it or start building another castle of bricks. Multiple streams of income. And the way that's gonna happen is by branding yourself. It's by marketing yourself, making sure that you become the brand, because that's the one thing, nobody can take away your essence, who you are, right? Everybody's like, well, I wanna find my niche. Well, guess what? You're unique. You are the niche. God created you with pure potentiality. There's nobody else like you. Just like our fingers, we have fingerprints. Nobody else has the exact same fingerprints. Your soul inside of you, all these things, right? It has its own print, and that's the essence of just who you are. So with that being said, guys, go out there, go to the beach or your imaginary beach and start building your castle brick by brick, because I promise you, once you start doing it and you have a couple castles out there, you're gonna start to live life differently, be able to sit on the beach and watch other people build their sandcastles, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on a beach and I'm watching people build sandcastles, and it's a beautiful thing to watch someone build a sandcastle rather than be forced to build a sandcastle. So with that being said, it's your boy Jason. Thank you guys for watching. Please continue to subscribe to my channel for more information on sales, marketing, business, entrepreneurship, branding, all that good stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right, guys, take care. Peace.